Hello and welcome back. In this part of the lesson, we're going to learn about the bow and the violin. But let's focus on the bow for right now. The bow has several different parts, so let's learn those names. This is the horse hair. It's made out of horse's tail, and you apply rosin to it to make it more tacky for the bowstring. We'll talk about that a little more later. But here, the wooden part, we have the actual bow. This is referred to as the tip. It's very easy names, so easy to follow along. This is what's considered the frog. I'll reference this a few times when we're working on the bow hold. This is your adjuster. If you twist this left or right, this indicates whether the bow is tight or loose. If you twist it, what is this? Counterclockwise, so this way, the bowstring gets looser. You want to keep it loose when you're putting it away. You tighten it to play. So we turn it clockwise, and it gets tighter. The thickness of the bow varies, but I like to keep it about a pencil width thick. So if you look there, I have a pen, but that's about the same. You should be able to stick a pen in the middle of the bow and have it just barely be touching either side. That's a thickness that I like anyway. The bow hold starts out near the frog, so that's this part here. You're going to take your right hand and you're going to take your thumb and your middle finger and you're going to pinch them together like this. And you're going to make it okay. Now we're going to pinch it over here in between the frog and the bow. So it looks like this here. The fingers don't necessarily have to be touching, but in this video I'll touch them. So they're touching together, and now we're going to wrap our forefinger around the front of the bow like this. So if you hold the bow out, all you have is these three fingers. We're not done yet. This finger here will rest on the frog anywhere it likes. You can rest it on top, on the side, it doesn't matter. But the pinky should always rest on top like this. This keeps it more balanced when you're playing. Now what I like to do is even slip my thumbnail underneath the frog on this little metal part here. So it angles the bow a little bit forward. So when you're playing, instead of having it go straight up and down, it'll lean a little bit forward, and that's the proper bow hold. In this next segment, we're going to talk a little bit more about the violin and how to hold it. There's two types of positions, well, three, but we'll talk about two today, that you can hold the violin. I mean, other than just holding it like this, of course. And that's in play position. So let's talk about the first. It's called resting position. We're going to plant the chin rest and the violin on our shoulder. It's the left shoulder, holding it with your left hand. Making sure your back is up straight, and you can even scoot a little bit forward on your seat so you're nice and straight up and down. We're going to rest the violin on our shoulder, and we're going to put our chin on the chin rest. Everybody has one, so just rest your chin on it like this, and you're going to keep your shoulders up and your back straight, just like this, and you're going to hold your violin here. We're not going to hold it down there yet. This is rest position. I'm going to refer to this a lot, so this is resting position. You can be a little bit lazy with it and slouch because we're resting. But for now, back straight because we're going to go into the second position, which is play position. And that's where our hand is down here near the head of the violin. We're going to put it on our shoulder and rest, and put our chin on our chin rest. And our hand is going to make a check mark on the violin like this, with your thumb and index finger. That is where the violin will rest when you're playing. So you don't need to make a check mark the whole time, but you can relax your hand a little. Make sure it's resting on that middle part of your thumb and index finger though. Now some of you may have a sponge, or even a shoulder rest, like this. This attaches to the shoulder, helps you prop the violin up. just like this. When you're holding the violin on your chin, it's always important to make sure that you can let go of your hands and still be holding the violin. That's the way you know you're in proper position. So you should be able to rest like this and let go of your hands. And you should practice that. Just hold the violin on your chin and let go of your hands. Keep your back straight, your shoulders up, and you can even put your hand in this position here, the check mark position, and rest it. This is the proper play position. With this combination of the bow hold and the violin position, you're already halfway there to becoming a great violinist.